My name is Zheng Zhang.
My name is Charlie.
My name is Sally.
My name is Lori.
My name is Terry.
My name is Trayshawn.
I'm Suzanne Kish, and I'm in 8th grade.
And I am a senior.
I'm a senior.
I am a sophomore, aka a 10th grader.
And what's your
Yeah, so I'm a youth mentor.
Being a youth mentor,
My job is
helping being a leader,
help make sure that things run smoothly.
facilitate conversations,
Being a youth member who's done this before.
facilitate retreats.
That was another piece that I brought in from other programming I'd done over the years, was around youth leading youth. Because in my experience, the power of having young people actually leading the activities up front was so powerful. The other young people listened in a different way, and it also gave those young people the sense, if they can do it, I can do it.
I am a participant.
This is my first year in YLI.
I attend meetings weekly.
Every week we have action teams. We meet and talk about an issue that we find in our community.
Currently, I am the board treasurer, and I volunteer. Long term, I have been with YLI since the beginning ideas of it. People call me the founder, but there was a team of us. The group that I was in was doing community work. I had about 7 different youth programs at the time, and then took pieces from all of them and created one, which is what YLI became.
My relationship to YLI is a lifelong friend. I have been a part of YLI for almost 10 years now. I started off as a participant and then a youth mentor. After high school, I became a volunteer, and then finally I was a staff on the leadership team. Now I'm just kind of on the flow with YLI and where YLI is going.
When I think about roots, I think about
Origin,
The starting point.
The past,
I think of trees.
water and nutrients to a tree.
Family,
deep,
Dig deep.
Things that are already set in place.
Your place.
who you are,
grounded,
grounds you.
Connected to the whole,
part of our identity,
ancestral,
solid.
They're usually there to stay.
our values.
They provide meaning for us. My mom's family, on her father's side, they were German immigrants. They homesteaded here in Minnesota.
My dad was born during when North Vietnam attacking the Hmong people. They were persecuted, so the Hmong community had to fled into different part of the world.
The slave trade a long time ago. But like recently, we've just been here.
My dad was not born here in the United States, and both of my parents' families, they've had a history of coming to America from Laos and Thailand.
I know we've been here for many generations. I don't think that I have any living relatives that know the story.
And my roots are mostly in Mississippi because that's where I was raised. From like the age of 6 to around 16, I was there. So it's just a lot of time spent there, and that's where I got most of my life experience.
I feel like having a single parent is a part of my roots for sure, just because it's something that did differentiate me from a lot of people, like influences my perspective.
I would describe my own roots as culturally involved, attending like family gatherings. My last name, which is last name clan. Sometimes we can go to these Zhang family gatherings, and it's only for like the Zhang clan to go there.
I am Hmong. I am a woman, I'm a girl.
I would say that my family is quite big. There's a lot of remarriage, and I think it's really interesting exploring them.
I come from a traditional family. There are a lot of expectations and customs, practices.
We have a much bigger British influence because my mom lived in the UK for 10 years.
There's also a big age range. I have a grandma who's 99. She has a really interesting past.
And I'm trying to also learn my language.
One root that definitely informs who I am is my roots in the queer community. I can feel that it impacts the way I'm seen and treated, not always in bad ways, but it impacts the way people interact with me in a very core level.
Self-love is important to me. It gives me strength.
My family moves a lot, and that's particularly in my life, I've moved 3 times majorly, like from Chicago to Mississippi, and from Mississippi to here, and it's just not very rooted, I guess. I appreciate the ability to like adapt to change and like the opportunities to have change, When I'm stuck in the same place for too long, I just feel discontented.
There are times where I do feel like I'm rootless. A lot of it comes from me wanting to detach from traditions and customs and practices, specifically with gender norms in the Hmong community. Growing up as a Hmong daughter, there are just a lot of expectations and strongholds that I want to separate from, so that's where I'm feeling that rootless feeling.
I think sometimes I feel a little rootless because it's always been me, my mom, and my brother. Sometimes it feels like my family tree is just losing a lot of leaves.
I feel that sometimes, since the family can be so big and like slightly disconnected, that I think everyone to some extent could feel that. But I think that overall I feel pretty grounded with my history.
Sometimes I do, but I try to tell myself that I shouldn't be thinking of the bad things or what I don't have, and I should be thinking of what I have and be grateful for that.
Sometimes I think my roots can be harsh, but then when I learned that more people can having more harder times than I am, which made me realize that my strong, solid roots isn't really that harsh.
In terms of like identity, I still feel so strongly about who I am, that I am a Hmong girl, and I will always carry that identity with myself.
Well, I think that it's really beautiful that we are all rooted in different cultures and different interests and different everything.
My roots inform who I am culturally, and that's within the Hmong community.
I think my identity is really strong,
But then
but also
that also means that some of the OG way of those roots can be hard to deal with,
part of my personal value is non-conformity.
because what we live now can be very different in how our parents and grandparents were taught of.
And when I know that things need to be changed, where I see injustice, that's where I want to be set apart.
I think that can be painfully challenging to challenge against my cultural roots. It would be hard, but I think it would be a good knowledge to know and to grow from.
I also think that it does kind of put you on like a certain path from your history and kind of direct you on that, which can be a positive and a negative.
My identity as an American is never questioned. No one ever really questions why I'm here or discriminates against me for that. I'd say YLI has very much helped me explore my roots in the terms that it makes me think about them a lot more.
I think even since just the first retreat, we've done more of a deep dive into my roots than I think I've had in probably my whole life.
We're going to have opportunities for people who come from different backgrounds, different life experiences, bring them together and build relationships across those differences in relationships.
I think it was really cool being in a space where I was just talking with people who had so many different roots from so many different places.
I think YLI is a really diverse community.
Diverse in skin color, diverse in language, diverse in learning styles, leadership styles, conflict styles.
I've met a ton of different people in YLI who have different roots than myself. I just talked to a bunch of different people and their roots are very interesting. It was just interesting, to learn about their culture and just the things that they do differently, I guess,
Help them really connect in meaningful ways so that they had more empathy, understood different stories, understood their commonality, and valued their differences as well.
And I think it's really, really interesting to hear about other people's roots.
I think it made me more diverse in food and thinking.
It helped by having another point of view of other people.
When I was a participant, we would have cultural presentations and I would just see how similar my own culture was to another community's culture.
It helped me contextualize my own roots so much better.
YLI reminded me of my own strength and my own power, identifying my own voice.